Ukraine's Magwar's Birds drone unit tracked a lone Russian serviceman moving through a snow-covered area toward a large roofless warehouse. The serviceman carrying his rifle climbed through a window and entered the abandoned structure, unaware that a Ukrainian drone was monitoring his movements from above. The drone operator carefully maneuvered to get a clear view inside the building, observing the serviceman's position and actions. Moments later, as the drone approached, the serviceman attempted to respond, but the effort had no effect. The drone maintained its approach and carried out a precise action inside the warehouse, concluding the encounter. The scene takes place beneath a damaged porch in the Zaporizhia area. A Ukrainian drone remains overhead, monitoring a Russian serviceman positioned in partial cover. Noticing the aircraft, the serviceman raises his hands and makes repeated movements, indicating confusion and hesitation rather than a clear intent to surrender. Shortly afterward, a second Ukrainian drone arrives and focuses on the location. This initial action limits the serviceman's ability to move away from the area. The Ukrainian Aero Bomber Unit of the 30th Mechanized Brigade carried out a precision operation against a Russian serviceman who exited his bunker at a critical moment in the Soldar direction. Two Russian servicemen were seen in the middle of a field attempting to reach a forward area near the front line. One of them was located and prevented from continuing in that position. In the Vovchansk direction, a Ukrainian drone focused on a Russian serviceman. The Russian personnel noticed the drone approaching and attempted to take cover behind nearby trees. Despite these actions, the drone maintained accurate control over the position. This time, the focus was on Russian personnel traveling by vehicle. The personnel were able to exit and withdraw, while the military vehicle itself was left completely inoperable. The situation unfolds near Pokrovsk, where a Ukrainian drone observes a Russian soldier seated inside a small roadside bus stop shelter. The soldier pulls out his phone and glances at the screen, yet still pauses to scan the quiet surroundings. Above the road, a Ukrainian drone descends slowly, maintaining a steady, controlled approach. For a brief moment, the soldier looks up, sensing the faint mechanical hum nearby. He remains seated, momentarily frozen, unsure how close the aircraft has come. The drone continues lowering carefully, tightening observation as the tense encounter quietly unfolds. Ukraine's 34th Coastal Defense Brigade successfully engaged Russian drone operators in the occupied Kherson region. The operator's location was identified, and a strike was carried out using a high-explosive loitering munition. A Ukrainian fiber-optic drone from the Sina battalion pursued a Russian logistics truck. Unaware it was being monitored, the truck continued along its route. Anticipating its path, the Ukrainian drone operator positioned the drone directly ahead. Russian soldiers attempted to exit the vehicle at the last moment, but it was already too late. We opened today's series with footage from the Lyman direction, featuring the Signum Battalion and a sequence that includes multiple types of frontline movement, ATVs, motorcycles, and a loaded Bukanka, a vehicle frequently used for Russian frontline logistics along with infantry activity. The intensity of the situation is evident throughout. One element highlighted in the footage is the use of so-called anti-drone cloaks. Russian soldiers are shown employing metallized fabric coverings, apparently in the belief that they can reduce detection by FPV drones. While such materials may in some cases complicate thermal identification, they do not ensure protection against direct aerial impact. The sequence emphasizes that concealment measures alone are insufficient against precision-guided aerial systems. The Signum unit presents the footage as further confirmation of the evolving dynamics of drone warfare, where mobility, detection, and rapid response increasingly shape outcomes on the modern battlefield. On January 29, 2026, a serviceman was observed attempting to evade a drone by taking cover behind a tree. Under sustained pressure along the front lines, personnel moving alone in these areas remain highly exposed and vulnerable to aerial observation. On January 29, 2026, the realities of modern warfare are shown in stark form. A Russian serviceman is seen moving along the front line, attempting to deter an approaching drone with a simple object, highlighting the imbalance between individual protection and advanced aerial technology. Archive footage shows Ukrainian soldiers operating against Russian positions in the KV region during the early days of the war. Subsequently, additional targets in the same sector were located, including the launch site of an enemy reconnaissance drone, an ATV position nearby, and a concealed shelter believed to be used by the operator. Each position was engaged in sequence under controlled aerial observation, disrupting equipment and dispersing personnel along the route. The final shots depict a brief duel. The last action by the Russian soldier was a futile attempt to fire at the approaching drone. The outcome was inevitable, and the engagement concluded under direct aerial observation. The Ukrainian soldier is seen attempting to engage incoming drones with an older machine gun, highlighting how a wide range of weapon systems, both modern and legacy, are being utilized on this front. The firearm appears to be a vintage model, possibly dating back to the 1940s, reflecting how older equipment can still find a role in contemporary conflict. If you recognize the exact model of the weapon, viewers are encouraged to share their insights in the comments.